Hey guys, Bad Infos here. Do you fancy yourself as a veteran of GTA San Andreas? Have you played the Definitive Edition for hundreds of hours looking for every possible hidden secret around the city? Well, even if so, I'll now show you 10 things you didn't know about the game. Know everything? That's fine, leave a dislike, but if I taught you something new, be sure to click on like. So, let's begin! Number 10. There's a thing called a sliding glitch. If you master it, passing about 20% of the missions will be faster and easier. It's basically a glitch that makes sprinting while aiming weapons possible. How is this useful, you might ask? Well, sprinting while shooting from a minigun is badass enough, but it also allows you to manipulate the game in such a way that you can even skip some missions or make some sections of the game a bit easier. You can sprint in interiors you normally can't. It's not easy to pull off and you need a lot of practice. All you need to do is the following. While in game, crouch, walk, uncrouch, sprint and aim. The difference between the original and the Definitive Edition is that while crouched, pressing sprint does not make CJ get up. Instead, it's crouch, walk, uncrouch, sprint and aim. And there you go, you can slide. Check the description for more in-depth tutorial video. Number 9. At the beginning of the game, you're only able to roam around in Los Santos and part of the countryside. If you try to visit other parts of the map, you get an instant 4-star wanted level. You can use cheats to lock the wanted level to 0, but if you're not a dirty smelly cheater, you can use exploits instead. Much better. There are many missions in the game which lock the wanted level, and while you're on a mission, you can just visit the other cities without any police attention. This allows you to get all collectibles and get lots of cash early on. In many of them, traffic will also be disabled, so you can go full speed, not worrying about the terrible AI the game has. The list of missions is huge, so I made a separate in-depth video showcasing them all. Link is in the description. Number 8. San Fierro suffered a giant earthquake a few years ago, as shown by the fallen freeway next to the Garver Bridge. Another evidence is the fault line in the San Fierro Bay. There's also other destroyed buildings in the city as seen over here. All of these Easter eggs are reference to the real earthquake that happened in San Francisco in 1989. Number 7. You have probably played GTA 5 before. The biggest change in that game was the addition of 2 more main protagonists, unlike the previous game where you could just play as one, in the case of San Andreas only with CJ. Well, did you know that the multiple protagonist system was planned for San Andreas as well? After the release of GTA 5, in a French interview with one of the developers of the game, they discussed how the same multiple protagonist storyline was planned for San Andreas and how it was scrapped because of the limited hardware of the PlayStation 2. Personally, I'm glad that it didn't come to fruition because San Andreas would not fit with that system at all. Number 6. Even though the impound garages used to have a role in the story of the game and had an actual use in the beta, they can still be used for storing vehicles. Just open the garage with a police car, get the vehicle in it and park it at the very end of the garage. This maximizes storage space and allows you to keep big planes and helicopters secure without worrying about them disappearing. If you wanna store a plane or a Hydra for instance, you can park it right here, start the pimping mission and your Hydra will disappear. Not forever though, because you can find it again at the impound. Number 5. These 3 facts shouldn't really be on the list, but apparently a huge chunk of the player base does not even know about them. So here they are. You can put bombs in cars just like in GTA 3. However, here there's no indication on the map where the shop is located, one of which is right over here in Los Santos. Just get into the garage, park, get out, activate the bomb, and BAM! Explosion! There also used to be a second functional pay and spray in Las Venturas on the PS2 version. However, there's no collision at the entrance and you could often fall into the world. Instead of adding a collision box on the ground in future releases like the PC version, Rockstar Games decided to barricade the entrance. How do I know that there's still no collision box? Well, because you can still get stuck in the ground outside of the garage. Yes, even in the Definitive Edition they did not bother to fix it. And the next one is, you can buy tickets at the airport to teleport instantly to the other cities. Yeah, I know it's very obvious, but again, many people don't know about it and that's why it's here. Number 4. Between the beta days and the release in 2004, many features and missions were removed from the game. I'll go over a few of them because the game is massive and it will take me an hour to list and showcase them all. Some of the missions removed from the game were Impounded, Doberman, Roadside Assistance. The truth is out there. Fish in a Barrel was a real mission instead of just a cutscene. In fact, audio, texts, icons, models and mission structure code is still in the game and you can play the mission via mods. Photo Opportunity was once an actually interesting mission where you didn't just stay on the roof and take pictures, instead Caesar and CJ used a helicopter and that's why in the final version they scream to each other.
They being clever about this, it ain't no exchange and nothing incriminating.
In St. Mark's Bistro you could roam around in Liberty City and you had to chase Marco Forelli on a bike. You could store weapons in trunks of cars. There were rampages, Pizza Boy and Top Fun missions. You got invited for hot coffee and you played a minigame while, drinking the coffee. Some characters were removed from the game, others were changed. Even Big Bear used to be a main character.
Man, Grove Street families used to be tight, man. Then little Brian got caught up, you ran off. I don't mean to dish you, man, but you did.
I know, but I'm back now.
True, homie. That's real spit.
The skateboard was also planned to be in the game, which served both as a weapon and as a vehicle as well. The list goes on and on and on. Like I said, an hour would not be enough to go over all the features. Number 3. You can have a negative number of money. If you bet all your money in the casino and lose, your money will become red. After a while, you receive a phone call from a gangster and he'll inform you that you owe him money.
Hey, Mr. Johnson, just a friendly reminder that you owe me money. Don't be a stranger.
He'll call you again later saying that some associates are arriving to discuss the money issue.
Mr. Johnson, I hear you're in the neighborhood. Some of my associates will be paying you a visit to talk about your debts.
Once they come, they'll try to kill you. Until you get enough money to pay off your debt, you'll constantly be hunted by the mafia. Number 2. You can turn people into zombies. Well, not really, but you can still make them invincible. First, you need to lure a normal pedestrian or a cop into one of the pay and spray garages. Obviously, this works the easiest with a cop, since he can follow you in. For a normal pedestrian, you can spook him or her, and they might run into the garage on their own. Once you're in, you can just stay there, the person's gonna try to get you out, and the door closes. Once it opens again, they'll be completely invincible. No matter how much you shoot at them, they'll not die. I suggest doing this on a normal pedestrian because having around an angry invincible officer might not be a very good idea. And finally, number 1. Rockstar Games likes to parody or even add things from real life into their games. One example, of course, is the San Francisco earthquake, which I talked about before. Another one, however, is the Los Angeles riot, which happened in 1992. That was a tragic chapter in history. What happened was the Los Santos Country District Attorney charged 4 police officers with assault and use of excessive force after they brutally beat up a man after a high-speed chase. Well, later on, the officers were found not guilty, sparking major riots on the streets of LA. The exact same thing happened in the game too. In fact, it was inspired from the real-life thing. It's really fascinating because the game is also based in 1992. I really would not like to spoil the story for you guys, so I'll not. Just know that the events in the LA riot also appear in Los Santos. And those were the 10 most unknown secrets in GTA San Andreas the Definitive Edition. Again, if you knew them all, leave a dislike, I won't be mad. But if I taught you something new, then the like button is right here too. Do you know more secrets? Then share them in the comment section. Thank you for watching, and a very special thank you to my top channel members and patrons: Monish Pradeep, Alex Chavez, Max Robinson, LMP Racing, House the Chowder, Smokio, and everybody else on the screen. Become a supporter supporter today.